Welcome back to video 5. In this video I'm going to show you how to record your screen, do some basic edits, add an intro, outro, some background music and then export the whole project out. Just to let you know, I've provided some exercise files to go along with this video, so the screen recording, intro, outro, YouTube end slide, audio and some background music. If you want to use these files to edit along with me, you can, but feel free to use your own if you want to. I will now show you how to record the screen if you wanted to do your own recording. So to record the screen, come up to the camera icon at the top, show you know this by now. Click on Configure Recording. Just before you do this, make sure you have the window up of what you're recording. For this example, I will just use the telestream.net website as we have before. At this point you can pick where you would like to record it from if you have more than one monitor. For me, I will record from the ANS G, which is selected already. I don't need to record a video, audio or computer audio, just the screen. Once you have selected what you need, go ahead and click on the red record button at the bottom. You will now see a countdown to when the screen starts to record. Once recording, do what you need to do on the screen. So if you're navigating around the web page, just do that as you would normally do to present what it is you're trying to present. Once you've finished, come back up to the camera icon and click Stop Recording. You'll notice when you click Stop Record, you'll be greeted by this screen. This gives you two options. Number 1, to create an entirely new document, or 2, add to an existing document. Now this only happens if you've already got the Screenflow editor up already. So you can add a new document or you can add to the existing document. Now what I usually do is, in my workflow, is I create a new document where I then export the screen recording and then I add that screen recording to my editing process later. So as I said earlier, I've provided a screen recording I did earlier and you can use that if you want to. I will show you how to add the screen recording to the editor a bit further down in this video. So this next part of the video, I will show you my workflow of how I edit my video tutorials. Feel free to use it or create your own workflow. I'm just going to discard this recording by deleting it. When I start editing my tutorial, the first thing I like to do is get all the assets I need. So for example, the screen recording, the audio, music, intro, and my YouTube end slide. So any assets that I need for this video project, I gather them. So for me, best places that I gather these from my computer. This is example, I will be using the folder from the desktop. Hopefully JLD would have uploaded the folder. This has got all the assets I'll be using for this demo. What you want to do is take all the assets out and place them in the media library. To add them, come over to the Properties tab, click on Media at the top right hand corner, which is the small musical note, and down to the bottom where it says Add Media, click on that and it will bring up your computer's documents. Navigate to where you have downloaded your folder to, open that, select all the assets out of the folder that I've provided and then click Open. This will now drop all the assets from that folder into the media library. We can now add the assets one at a time to the timeline and start editing. Not sure if I mentioned earlier, but when I create my screen recordings, I always follow along with the script. This is what I do with all my tutorials. So I script my tutorial first, record the audio separate, I then play the audio back while recording the screen. Now that's the way I do it. You might be able to pick up your own. It might be better for you. Whatever works for you, you can do that. Before we go ahead with the editing, I just want to show you the project we will be making, editing and exporting.
Screenflow 5 tutorial video tip of the week. I'll be showing you how to add media to your media library, so stay tuned. Now, before you edit your media on the timeline, and when I talk about media, I mean things like live footage, screen recordings, images, audio, music, those kind of things, you first need to add them to the library, and here's how. If you come over to the right hand side of Screenflow, you'll see a little musical icon. Click on that and it will activate the media library. You then need to come down to where it says Add Media. Your computer's library will then pop up like this. You then need to navigate to where you have stored your media. Now I suggest you store all your media in one place so it's easily accessible. When you have chosen your media, I'll choose my full intro MP4 as an example that you see in all my videos. Then click Open at the bottom right. This will then be added to your media library. From there, you can add it onto the timeline. Now, if you don't know how to add media to the timeline, I've done a video on just that. You can find that link underneath this video. So, you now know how to add media to your media library right within Screenflow. Until next time, I'm Dean Haycox, and this has been another Screenflow 5 tutorial video tip of the week from screencastmagazine.com. This is the tutorial that we'll be editing now. If you've not used Screenflow, the video that you just watched looks a little bit daunting, but trust me, once we go through it, I recommend you follow the exercise files, and you can go along with me and you'll be able to do it on your own. Honestly, you will. The first thing I bring onto the timeline is the screen recording and my audio that goes with that. So look in the media bin and find the screen recording and the audio. You can do this one at a time if you want. Click on the screen recording. You know you've clicked on it because it becomes highlighted in yellow. Right click and a box will appear. Just click Add to Timeline at Scrubber. This will now add it to the timeline. Then do the same for the audio. When you add the audio, it will go to the top of the timeline. Now you can edit it from there. It's not a problem at all. But I prefer to have it below my screen recording. So I'm just going to click on the audio and drag it below the screen recording. Now the first lot of edits I do is called the rough cut. In all my videos, I have an intro before the actual tutorial. So let's have a listen. Hey everyone, in this Screenflow tutorial video tip of the week, I'll be going over how to upload your video to YouTube in Screenflow. Stay tuned. So what I'll do there is stop the video because I know that I will be adding my logo intro between the intro and the tutorial. So to do that, where we have the scrubber, click on the T. This is a shortcut for splitting the clip, and it will split the clip into left and right. A little tip: if you know that you will be splitting the two clips, in this example it's the screen recording and the audio. To keep them synced, click on the screen recording, hold down Shift, and then click on the audio. You will notice both their assets are now highlighted in yellow. This means that they both lock together. And then go ahead and click T. As you can see, both clips have now been split. What I want to do now is move the right clips over a little so I can work on the intro. We can do that by applying the technique we just done. Hold the screen recording down, click Shift, then click on the audio. When they both highlight, drag them over to the right so we can work on the intro. The next rough cut edit I need to make is the beginning of the tutorial. So as you can see, if I click on play, once you've finalized the tutorial doesn't click in or kick in for a few seconds. So what we need to do, we need to edit that part out. So the process we've just done is exactly the same. Drag the scrubber to where we want to clip. Click highlight, Shift, and then click T. The clips on the left we don't need, so we simply delete them by highlighting and clicking delete, and now they're deleted. We then need to move through the video. Now if I played the video all the way through, it would take too long and the video would be even longer than it is now. But you should play the video through of your own screen recording and look for the places that you need to edit. I know in this screen recording the only thing I need to edit is the end. So if we grab the scrubber, go to the end of the screen recording and have a listen for top video quality. It's about here where I stop. Click on the clips, highlight, shift and then click T. Once you've done that, highlight, delete the clips to the right of the scrubber. We can now go back to the beginning and start the fine edits and add in the intro and the transition. There's two ways you can get back to the beginning. One is using the scrubber and the second is by clicking the play back button, which is a lot quicker. Now if we click play and have a listen from the beginning.
Hey everyone, in this Screenflow tutorial
you will see there is a point in the recording where I don't say anything. This is not what we need, so I will delete this. Again, bring the scrubber up to where you want to, clip, highlight, shift and click T. Once you split the clip, you need to delete the clips to the left and move the others clips to the left. If we play the clip from the beginning now.
Hey everyone, in this Screenflow tutorial video
there is no delay in with it coming in with the intro. The next part is adding the logo before we get into editing the main tutorial. Now go back to the media bin and click on the intro logo and drag across onto the timeline. Now I know my logo fades to black at the end and I don't really want that. So all I need to do is cut that out. Have a watch and see where it fades out. What I'm going to do is push the logo back so it doesn't go too black. I can do that by moving the scrubber to where the logo goes black and then just before there, which is about here. All I need to do then is click on the logo, hover my cursor at the end of the logo and you will see a double arrow pop up. Once you see that, drag your cursor to the scrubber to the left. The logo will now play to that and not go to black. Have a watch. Next we need to add a transition to the beginning of the logo. If you bring the logo down on the same timeline as a screen recording, drag the logo to the left until it starts pushing into the screen recording and then you'll see a little letter A appear. Let me magnify a little so you can see the A more. We have now added a transition from our intro into the logo. Take a look. What we need to do now is match up the logo and the main tutorial portion of the video. So to come to the screen recording, to the right, click on both the recording and the audio and then push the recording into the logo on the left, bringing up the letter A again. We have now created a transition from the logo into the main content. Let's have a look.
Once you've finalized your video,
pretty cool, eh? Now, there is lots you can do with this transition, but because this is only an intro, I want to show you the basics and get you going with creating your video. We will now add the same logo to the end of our tutorial video, applying the same principles. So, drag the logo onto the timeline. We need to take the black off again like we did in the first logo. Move the scrubber before it goes black. I'm going to move it there. Highlight the logo. Take the cursor and wait for the double arrow. Then move to the left and up against the scrubber. Once we've done that, push the logo into the screen recording. Let's have a watch.
Screenflow, the top video.
A couple more things we need to add now. The YouTube end slide, music, and then we need to export the video. As always, we start by dragging the clip onto the timeline. All we need to do here is again push the YouTube end slide into the logo and have a watch. I'm happy with that. We now need to add the background music to the whole project. Drag the music to the bottom of the clips. Now, if I play the music now, I know it's going to be too loud for my voice. Have a listen. You can hear the music is drowning not only me out, but the logo music too. Doesn't sound very good or very professional. So what we need to do is reduce the audio. We can do that by coming over to the Properties tab and selecting the Audio tab, which looks like a little speaker. Come down to the volume, and you can use this handy little slider to either increase the volume or to reduce it. We're going to reduce it, let's say, to about 4 and have a listen. That sounds okay to me. You can hear the music, but it's not drowning out me
once you
finalised
talking
like it did before. Now the last thing that we're going to do in this video is export. So if you come up to File at the top menu bar, scroll down to where it says Export, the export box will now pop up. I'll just quickly go over these. Save as name, the file that you want to save it as. Where is you want the file to save? Sorry. Let me do that again. Save as name, the file you want. Where to save it is where you want to save it on your desktop. The preset is a list of presets you can use for your video. What I'll show you now is my settings I use. Click on Customize. You will now see the Customize box pop up. Make sure to select the H.264 video. Keep the frame rate, the data rate, profile, keyframe the same as me, and you should be okay with that. Coming down, make sure you click on the AAC audio. Keep the sample rate, the data rate, and the channels the same, and then click OK. You have now saved those presets for the next time you want to export a video. Make sure you check your dimensions. In my case, I'm exporting 1280 by 720, and I won't be using the motion blur. Then click Export. Once you clicked on Export, you will see the Export Progress bar. Now, exporting times will vary depending on how long your video is. In my case, it only takes a few minutes because my video tutorials are roughly about 5 minutes long. The exported file will then be added to wherever you saved it to. I always save mine to the desktop so I quickly access it and watch it. Now, one tip I will give: before uploading your video anywhere, make sure you play the video back and watch how the video plays and you're happy with the outcome. If you're not happy with the outcome, you can simply delete the video and go back and re-edit what you've just done. I know this video has been a little bit long, but I hope you've got a small introduction into the power of Screenflow, and I've only scratched the surface of what Screenflow can do. In the final video, part 6, I will give you some of the resources that I use to put my videos together. I hope you can join me for that final video.